Katie Sullivan, this is my problem solution speech. About 15 years ago, I found myself in a horrible situation. I was waiting for the police to arrest my boyfriend who had just swung a hammer at my head. I've never been so scared or embarrassed in my life. How could I, a strong, confident, intelligent woman, have found myself in that position? Domestic abuse and understanding why it is so difficult for a battered woman to simply walk away is a personal issue for me. Why had I stayed with him? Why does any woman stay? Well, I'm going to explore the complex reasons why women stay with abusive partners. And then I'm going to offer some solutions to assist in a victim's escape. According to UN.org, accessed on August 7, 2021, domestic abuse is a pattern of behavior in any relationship that is used to gain or maintain power and control over an intimate partner. It can be physical, sexual, emotional, economic, and psychological. And worst of all, domestic violence can culminate in serious injury and even death. According to assets.speakdcn.com, accessed on August 7, 2021, 33.9% of Massachusetts women will experience domestic violence. That is higher than the national average of about 25%. We live in a very educated, wealthy, and healthy commonwealth. How do we average a higher rate of abuse? It's simply because domestic violence does not have a type or a look. It happens to any age, race, gender, sexual orientation, faith, or socioeconomic group. At this point, though, we're still wondering, why doesn't she just walk away? It's actually very difficult and complicated for a victim to escape. Abusers take extreme measures to maintain control over their victims, leaving particularly dangerous. According to ncdav.org, accessed on August 7, 2021, one study found that men who had killed their domestic partners said that the threat of separation or an actual separation were the precipitating events leading up to the murder. And there are other reasons victims stay. They include a lack of support system, fear of financial hardship, fear of losing custody or harm coming to a child or a pet, religious or cultural beliefs. In fact, many clergy and other religious leaders often counsel women to stay and make a relationship work at all costs. Remember, victims of domestic abuse are manipulated and broken down to believe that they are not lovable, and the only way they can survive is with their abuser. That is what domestic violence looks like. And we also know why someone might stay. But how can we help? How can we help women escape? First, we need to strengthen our definition of domestic abuse and enforce the laws meant to prevent and prosecute it. On a federal level, according to govtrack.us, accessed on August 8, 2021, a bill was introduced to Congress on March 8th of this year. It's the Violence Against Women Reauthorization Act of 2021. According to judiciary.house.gov, accessed on August 8th, 2021, this legislation would authorize funding for a variety of grant programs, including grants for victim services, prevention, training, education, enforcement, economic stability, and other support systems for the victims. The bill is still waiting to pass the Senate. Pressure needs to be put on our senators to remind them that women's rights are a priority. On a more local level, we must provide education to young women starting in high school. Health classes or physical education classes should include lessons on how to spot the red flags at the beginning of a relationship. This is not meant to imply that the victim is responsible for the abuse they suffer. Abusers are masters of manipulation and deception. Behaviors that young women can be taught to look out for include a partner that pushes for immediate commitment, a belief in male dominance, extreme jealousy, wanting to spend every single minute together at the expense of her other relationships and friendships. You might be wondering what you can do on a personal level to help a friend that you suspect of being in a domestically abusive relationship. Well, here's a few things. According to verywellmind.com, accessed on August 8th, 2021, a friend can learn the warning signs of domestic abuse. They include physical signs like bruises and other injuries, emotional differences in your friend, like a drop in self-esteem, and even behavioral changes like withdrawing from friends and family. If you see these signs, you can gently start a conversation, letting your friend know that you are a safe space. If she decides to trust you and tells you what she is going through, listen without judgment. Understand that domestic abuse is about control, not necessarily violence. And the victim is usually the only one to see this side of her abuser. Reassure your friend that you believe her, that it isn't her fault, and that she does not deserve this treatment. Finally, you can offer specific support to your friend. You can look up phone numbers for shelters, services, support groups, and attorneys. Womenslaw.org is a great place to start. So now we know this is what domestic violence looks like and why women don't leave, and have few ways to assist women that are trying to leave. But if you think you or your friend is in a domestically violent situation, know that it is not your fault. There is help, and you can leave.